Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is, yes, Monday, and it's also the 2nd of June and the first day of the new month. This is an educational video. There's no recommendation or advice intended at all. It is purely for educational purpose only. Today we'll start with S&P 500 and it has been trading sideways here a little bit, pausing a little bit here for the past week or so. It needs to close above 5,969 for a push towards previous all-time highs, just around 6,150. If it takes out 5,767, it could close the gap down to the levels we have here around 5,692. That gap up there, that would be key. Then we have the 55 moving average coming up there, so there's still some positivity. And we also have the RSI here still in a positive sentiment, no divergence, so indicating we should see a higher level, but let's see if we will get that. Let's have a look at Dow Jones before we go on to the Nasdaq 100. Dow Jones here also sideways, key support here at 41,414. Dipped a little bit below. We have 55 moving average also coming up. No divergence on the RSI, still positive sentiment, likely to push higher. And if it takes out and closes above 42,842, well, then expect a push up towards 400, possibly higher, but it could be a little bit of a struggle. But 55 is really giving it some support there. So let's move on to the Nasdaq 100. Nasdaq 100 is still struggling to close above 21,455. That is the key resistance. It's tried several times here, but failed to close above every single time. So let's see if it can actually do that in the coming days and weeks. Let's see if sell in May and go away or stay away is also a good idea this year. We don't know yet, but we can see that the 55 coming up here, the 100 and 200 also coming up, still positive sentiment on the RSI. So the underlying bias is actually positive for the US market, and here pre-market we are on US Nasdaq 100 CFD slash future. We are a little bit lower, so it could be a story. Maybe we should have looking at 20,500, 20,300. Let's see about that. In Asia session, we have Seng lower this morning, almost 2%, almost touching support here at 22,638. Looks quite heavy. I actually think we over the next few days could see a dip down to the 38.2 retracement of the entire uptrend here at 22,138 maybe. Also dipping below the 100 moving average. That is coming up here, giving some support, so I think we'll see then a bounce there. However, we have the 55 coming down. We had negative sentiment on the RSI, so we see higher close here, but not higher levels on the RSI, indicating we are to dip lower. Let's see what will happen excuse me, with the 40 threshold. On Nikkei, well, dancing around here after the bounce, setting back a little bit, being dragged down a little bit by the 100 moving average, but still positive sentiment on the RSI. So I think we will stay above the 36,500 here for a little while. In EuroStoxx50, also a little bit lower Friday, indicated lower this morning here, but still staying above 5,285. Didn't close below. The key is though 5,228. Let's see, looking at the pre-market here, setting back a little bit. Seems like we are going to have a bit of a correction, but we have the 100 coming up here, giving some support. Still positive sentiment, no divergence, indicating likely higher levels. DAX index, now it seems to actually formed a bearish engulfing here. Let's zoom in on it. You see market open higher than the previous day's close and closed lower than the previous day's high. So we actually have a bearish engulfing here. And it was followed through by the next day also. So both the 28th and tried again on the 29th. I think we have a top and reversal in place. So let's see about that. We could add Fibonacci to this, but that's a little bit of a stretch. I don't think we will see it down to the 22,100 level here. I think we could see a test of the supports here at 23,475 and 23,338 for now. But it looks like a top reversal pattern, and we also have a bit of divergence. You see these lows here are lower than here, but market closed high here. So we are in an exhausted mode, and pre-market down a little bit. We can see, let's remove this one. We also had this big bearish engulfing top reversal. So I think it's for now over and done with DAX, unless it takes out and closes above its a peak there at on the 29th of May. Moving on to euro dollar, and I'm sorry if I sound a little bit tired. I've been traveling by train all night from Berlin after EasyJet canceled our flight back home. So I had to jump onto a train. I've been traveling all night. Just landed here a few minutes ago. So euro dollar knocking on the resistance at the 61.8 retracement at 113.80 again, here around 114. And I think if it takes out the spike up there, and let's just add a horizontal line to that. If it takes out 114.20, I think it will push higher in the coming days and weeks. And especially if we get the RSI back above 60 threshold. Sterling dollar is also still here. We have bouncing from the 134.35 support. Let's see how long it can hold. If it takes out the spike up there, then I think we'll see a push up towards 137, possibly higher. So what we can also do, and a little Fibonacci today's one, is say projecting it higher, and maybe up in this region around 137.5. Euro sterling, on the other hand, last week here on the 29th, dipped lower, but managed to, buyers came in and lifted it here, and back above the 200 moving average. Seems to be holding, but resistance here at 84.65. That is key. Dollar yen. Well, dollar yen spiked up to the 61.8 retracement of this sell-off there, and then it got tired immediately back below the 55 moving average, selling lower, and could test the 142 support area here fairly soon, I believe. All moving average declining. I think we'll see lower levels on dollar yen in coming days and weeks. Euro yen, on the other hand, still after the let's remove this one. After the bounce from the 161, pushed higher, but still needs to get back above 165 to really establish a bullish trend. The Aussie yen rejected at the 100 moving average here late last week. If it takes out and closes below a 91.65, then I think we'll see it moving down to 90s, but 60 around this level. If it also closes below that one, well, then we are back in this area down here below 88. However, what is interesting, RSI is still positive, but that could change that scenario. Sterling yen rejected just below, a few cents below the previous peak here, and I think it will slide back here lower, possibly down to around 192. These lows here could even take it out, and then we could see it be looking at 190 level. It really needs to close above 196.45 to establish a bullish trend. Aussie dollar, well, let's remove this one. Seems to be range bound here between 65 and a bit and 63.5 area. It's really, I would say, down to 63.45. It doesn't really give us much at the moment. It's slightly rising, or is it I think we need to have a close above 65.50 for a bullish move towards 66.80. The dollar Canada slightly lower, little bit double bottom here maybe, but I think we could see it dip it down to 136.5, possibly lower. And sterling Canada, well, Friday actually closed below the minor support here at 185, trying to get back above, and D55 giving some support. But I think maybe CAD is active box. It's below the lower rising trend line. I think we could see it sliding lower towards, and let's just add a horizontal line there just around 82.61, 82.60. EURSWISS, well, EURSWISS still this slightly lower tops here, but or peaks, but still the 92 95 or just around 93. That is the key. Still negative sentiment on the RSI, and you can see the 55 moving average below the 200 now, also indicating low levels. I think we'll see a break lower here, and then we'll move down to around 92.20. Dollar Swiss likely to test the support here at 81.85, and especially if RSI close below the 40 threshold, then I think we'll see dollar Swiss lower towards 80.40, possibly even lower. And the dollar index coming up there, support here at 98.68, dip below, rejected here at the resistance. I think it will also take out the lows here, and a push lower below 97 is in the cards. 100 moving average below the 200, both declining, 55 declining. We are likely to see it pushing lower. It's no guarantee and it's not a recommendation, but that's what it looks like at the moment. Gold maybe slowly crawling higher after dipping to the 38.2 retracement support here, 3,240. I think we could see it testing the previous peak here, and the 786 retracement. If it breaks above, then I think, and I don't think it will use, I would not wait around. It's not a recommendation still, but I would not wait around for a close above, but that would make it even stronger, especially if RSI closes above 60 threshold. Then I think we'll see a push up to 3,500. Silver, on the other hand, it's still 33.70. It needs to close above for a bullish trend, and RSI needs to close above 60 threshold. On the platinum, that's what we've been following a little bit lately. It seems like we have a correction setting in here to the 38.2 retracement at this bullish move up here. If it bounces off, then we could see another push towards the 11.05 and also higher levels. And just very quickly look at the weekly, we'll see 11.30 is what we're looking for here. And there seems to be no divergence on the RSI, indicating we should see higher levels. But again, it's quite volatile, so we could see bigger dips. Copper, will it break this time? Will it close above? If it does close above 489 and RSI also closing above 60 threshold, then a bullish trend has been established, and we are like to see it back towards 510, 520, maybe even 530. On the energy side, we still have the WTI crude oil dipping below the support here at 60.47, but closed back above, now bouncing here. If it does close above 64.85, well, then there's potential up to the 70 area, but let's see about that. And we have the Brent crude oil, actually bearish trend, closed lower there Friday, but is bouncing now, and RSI bouncing from the 40 threshold. Still negative sentiment, so it really needs to get back above at least the 66.81 here. But then we have the 55 moving and holding it down, so I think it will slide low in the coming days. The European gas currently below support at 34. If it does close below, we have a bearish trend, and if RSI closes below 40, which I believe it will, then we have a confirmed bearish trend, and still negative sentiment on the RSI. I think we'll see it pushing lower towards the lows here at 31.30, possibly lower. The US nat gas, well, boxed in here, is still between 384 and 310. Well, then Treasury yields, we have the US 10-year Treasury yields holding on around the 100 moving average. We could see a dip down to the 61.8 for 431 before I think it will bounce. However, if it starts taking out the spike up there at 455, then I think we'll see it challenging the resistance here at 462, 465. The 2-year sliding lower there. Friday, it hasn't opened just yet, so let's see what the day will bring, if it can bounce off here or not. We can see the moving average 100 declining here, so it will probably be range bound here for quite some time. Moving on to the European yields, and we have the EU 10-year that is testing the 786 retracement here at 249. I think it dipped just below Friday. Key support here though is around 243. If it takes out that, then we really have a bearish trend. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating we could see it pushing higher, but let's see about that. And the UK 10, it's the support here at 460 that is key. If taking out that, then we're looking at 450, possibly 440, and it's the 482 to the upside. All right, and then Bitcoin setting back to short-term correction here. A little bit of bearish trend here. Lower high, lower low. Let's see what it can do. Support here just above 100,700. Sorry. But the 55 moving average coming up there. There's still positive sentiment, and there's actually no divergence, indicating we like to see high levels just after this dip here. So let's see. The Ethereum sideways spiked a little bit higher there sometime last week, but couldn't really stay above, and that is key to do here the next few days, I believe. So what I will do, I will first of all draw a trend line there, and I will draw a trend line also to this one. It's a fairly how can you say, not reliable range, but still 2800 and 2330. All right, that's all for today. Sorry about this little bit short one, and as I said, I'm very tired after traveling all night on train from Germany. Have a nice day. Talk to you again later.